So they finally got the coalition together. Couple things that happened during this whole process. The other team that was more to the western side of the city actually called in an artillery strike on top of us. And if you ever heard an artillery round go off over your damn head, it's probably the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. And it was time fused. So it, exploded in the air and then threw machete rounds or whatever it was all over, and, just for personnel, basically.
Yeah.
Well, that happened. It popped all the tires in our vehicles and a couple holes in the gas tanks and stuff like that. So we were screwed there, kind of, sort of. And we had one guy, and I don't know why he never said anything, but there was one dude that was sitting in the building next to us. And he was actually shooting at us. But he never told anybody else. It was weird.
What do you mean? You mean one of your guys saw an Iraqi shooting at you?
We saw him in the building next to us, and he was just like peeking, and he would shoot, and that would be it. And then a little later, he would shoot, and then he would go down. We don't come figure that one out.
Well, did you shoot him?
No. We didn't do it. We didn't respond to him because we didn't want anybody to know us. We had a BTR 50.
Oh, you didn't know if he actually saw you or not. You thought he was.
Well, he was shooting at us. So
yeah.
The weird part is why didn't he call in reinforcements and give our position away? He never did. But we had and here's that AT4 comes in play. We had a BTR 50 roll right in front of our paws, right in front of our position. And they were all sitting up out of the turrets and everything. And they were close enough we can see their faces and everything. And me and my buddy were sitting up in this small little room with that AT4 locked and cocked, safety pin out, getting ready to put this round through if they had saw us. And they drove right by, never once looked up in there. And today, I even think about it, I'm glad we didn't shoot that thing, because it would have blew our freaking eardrums out of our heads. Because later in life, I've gotten a chance to shoot an AT4. And you don't want to shoot an AT4 off with no ear protection sitting in a little concrete room. We would have come out of there bleeding, put it that way, But for some reason, this guy never shot. So as it progressed, we were in there for 40 hours, roughly, about 40 hours behind, totally surrounded by the Iraqis. And finally, the coalition had made it a corridor in which we were able to drive out. And I got pictures of that vehicle, but all our tires were blown out, no doors, all soft skin vehicles, and we drove out right around all these Iraqis, and they never shot at us, never saw us, and we went right out. Popped right out, and that was that.
Damn. And there was 40 hours of that shit?
40 hours.
What about the other team?
The other team had a little bit more closer call. They actually, one of the guys, Brown is his name, got hit friendly fire. Got some shrapnel in his leg. He actually got a Purple Heart out of it. I don't know if you knew Sterling. Sterling was over there, and he was the RTO. But they had people, Iraqis, actually in the building, same building as they were in. And they could hear them coming up. They actually burnt all their crypto.
Damn.
Back then we had CAC sheets and everything, crypto-wise.
Yeah.
And they burned it all, destroyed it all, and they were ready to go. Fisticuffs. But they never happened. And this guy over here, when we pulled out, we shot a saw and about 203 grenades up into that building to cover our exfil there, and nothing ever happened. We don't know whether we got him or what. It just went away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that happens a lot.
You
get an engagement and you don't go
You don't go looking.
Don't always go back to check and see how many bodies are laying there.
But,
or if any at all.
It was quite the event, about 40 hours worth. And our contingency was if we didn't get out that night, we were going to walk out. Because we were relying on Saudis.
Yeah.
So the contingency was, hey, listen, if they don't make a corridor for us to get out of here tonight, we're just going to go ahead and drop this stuff, and we're going to walk out through the wadi and sneak out. Because we owned the night. We had the MVGs we had was crap, but yeah, it was better than what they had. They didn't have nothing,
Crap to compare to what we have now, but
oh yeah.
What was it? Was it like the 2-to-1s?
It was a box, and I think they finally gave us. We started out with the box ones with two lenses, and then they finally got us to one lens. But it was the first generation.
Yeah.
And that first generation, you couldn't see nothing, man. There's nothing.
I've never looked through them.
Yeah.
I don't have that wall.
But we've been up there working, and like I said, the reason I got on CNN after we got back to the rear, had some lunch, was the weeks prior that we were up in there, we actually had a wireman on our team, and he wired a bunch of phones up on this abandoned city, and we all made collect calls home. So my mom knew I was in that city.
Oh, shit.
And then the next thing she sees is the city's overrun.
Damn.
And back then, it was snail mail. You had to write a letter, and she might have got it in 2 months.
Yeah.
So the quickest way I could get the word back that I was all right, and she was going nuts, by the way. Both my parents were going nuts.
So you called your parents, and your radio man wired the phone so that you could make a collect call back to New York to tell them, hey, we're in Kafji.
We're in Kafji.
And they flipped the news on, and Kafji is being overrun by the Iraqi army, which is the 4th largest army in the world at that time. Holy shit.
Yeah. So the quickest way to get the news to her that I was all right was to get on this TV guy, which happened to be CNN.
Damn.
And let them all know that I was still alive.
We focus first on the battle for the Saudi border town of Kafji. It was captured by the Iraqis on Tuesday and retaken by a combination of Arab and American units early today. Some fighting continues on the outskirts of the town, located near the Saudi Arabian border with Kuwait. We get a pool report filed today by Brad Willis.
It is shortly after 8 o'clock Friday morning, February the 1st. Although the Saudis claimed overnight that they have reclaimed the city, we are seeing a number of armored personnel carriers and Saudi tanks rolling into the city. We have heard some loud explosions and sporadic small weapons fire. Clearly, there is still some resistance, some sniper fire, and some heavy Iraqi weapons still doing battle in Kafji. During the height of the battle, these Marines were trapped for 48 hours inside Kafji on a reconnaissance mission. Today, they feel lucky to be alive. Tell me what it was like for you being pinned down for 2 days during the battle for Kafji.
Pretty scary. Didn't know whether I'd make it or not. All kinds of stuff going through your mind, what to do. Try to keep your head, keep a level head. Remember you got a mission, complete your mission. Just do your job, basically.
What kind of fire did you come under?
Heavy machine gun, a lot of tow missiles going by. That's heavy, small arms.
Sniper fire?
Yeah, we took sniper fire yesterday. Or not, this morning.
Was there a time you thought that you were going to lose your life?
Oh yeah.
pandemonium.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.